Hello, guys. So happy to be here. So let's invite Carlotta. Oh my gosh, I can't find her. Let me see. Oh my god, I can't find her. Here you go. Here she is. Great. I found you. If you get in, yes.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm feeling amazing today.
Oh,
So,
great. Me
so
too.
yeah, so in love with life today.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely, for sure.
amazing.
It's
So tell me,
not
hmm?
it's not an easy time to be always with this feeling. It's a
Hmm.
very challenging time.
Yeah, yeah.
But I know what you mean.
Hmm. We can still see lots of beauty in it, because
Hmm.
we might spend more time with ourselves. We might spend more time in nature, maybe
Of
more time
course.
doing meditation, and all those
Hmm.
different practices that we've been forgetting because we are too busy with life.
Yes,
So that's a good
definitely.
moment, I would say, for doing these kind of things.
Of course, definitely. More than ever. Searching for
Exactly.
connection, for real connection, more than ever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
All
it's
that.
very important
Mm-hmm.
in this time, in
Mm-hmm.
this now moment.
Yeah. So, how do you actually find these connections, and how do you spend your day?
My day, normally I spend my day working a lot. But how do I find my connection? I
Mm-hmm.
always do, I do, always do meditation in the morning. It's the first thing I do when I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't speak, I don't do anything before I meditate.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I meditate for 50 minutes because I do a specific meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then it's the first thing on my day that I do for my connection, the connection with
Mm-hmm.
myself, with my
Yes.
body, the reconnection when we wake up, the reconnection with my body, with my
Mm-hmm.
material self.
Yeah.
And I love to be in nature too. Every time I can, I go to nature because
Mm-hmm.
I have a very, how do you say in English? I'm very light, but
Mm-hmm.
so light that I have to ground myself very much. Sometimes I really have to put my hands in the earth so I can really feel myself grounding. It's very important to me to feel
Mm-hmm.
grounded because if I don't ground myself, I easily go and go and go. So it's important to me to have every day something that grounds myself. Sometimes I drum, I do some drumming because it's a
Mm-hmm.
very earthy sound, or
Yeah.
I put my hands in the nature, or I do a mindful walk. It depends.
Yeah. That's amazing. And so you said that you do a specific meditation. You said it's
Hmm.
15 minutes or it's 15?
50 minutes. 50,
50
five
minutes.
zero. Yeah,
Perfect.
50
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah. Tell me more about this kind of meditation that you do, because I'm
Mm.
really.
This meditation, it's not a pure meditation. What I mean with pure meditation is when we are in complete silence.
Mm-hmm.
because I think there are very different kinds of meditation.
Yeah.
And when I call it pure meditation, um, I think and I feel that is without any kind of music and without any kind of specific visualization and nothing like that. Just to be in the now moment with your breathing, to focus on your breath and to try to be the observer.
Yeah.
And there are other kinds of meditations. And the one that I'm doing right now, it's like a deep inner work. It's avatar meditation, where you work with your inner power, with your
Yeah.
avatar power, when you work with your thyroid, when you're
Yeah.
breathing and do some kind of some specific visualizations, some specific words in a specific way to do this inner work, this very powerful inner work, because in this, as you know, in this now moment, in this very challenging moments in the world
Yeah.
today, it's very important to us to work with our inner power every
Yeah.
day, with be very consistent, because we are here in this dimension. We need to be consistent. It's not one meditation once a week, it's every day,
Yeah.
especially when you don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So now
Yeah.
I'm doing that kind of meditation, but maybe in 6 months I'm doing a different one. And I do a
Yeah.
pure meditation too, very often, because I need it. It's like a
Yeah.
shower in my energy. It's very important.
Yeah. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really see like as a meditation as a super powerful tool. Like in my case, that I have ADHD, it's really important sometimes to really sit and meditate. As a matter of fact, I found for me more useful a meditation where I am doing, some gratitude. I'm feeling gratitude and just like feeling. I love to do visualizations, and I really realized it. Like this, like something really changed the way I see like life. So think about that. Let's say you go to a Hawaii, okay? You go physically to Hawaii and you experience tons of emotions, right? You love the place, you feel love, you feel like appreciated, you feel like as you are there that you love it, right? So what really matters the most is the feelings that we have when we do certain experiences, because
Of
this is
course,
the one thing that will stay with us forever, because the
forever.
pictures and all of these things will vanish at some point, but emotions will always be there. So I say, what if I close my eyes and then go to a Hawaii, let's say, every day, and I can still feel that. I can still hear
Yes, you
the
can.
sound of the waves. I can still see the mountains, feel like see Hawaiian people, and feel that they are exactly the same thing. And I said, wow. So I can literally do everything if I close my eye and
Totally.
access to this kind of
That's astral
yeah,
traveling.
yeah, it
You are
is.
talking about astral traveling.
Yeah, yeah. So I said, the what a powerful tool when we close our eyes, we can access to everything we want, yeah, and feel everything we want. That's so powerful.
And it's important, I think it's important to acknowledge what we are feeling and
Yeah.
not to bypass the emotions, because sometimes we are not feeling always gratitude and unconditional love or joy. Most of the emotions that we don't want to feel are
Yeah.
in fact triggers and signals for us to go deeper and deeper inside ourselves, and to acknowledge some dragons or some inner ghosts that we have inside that are part of us, that are part
Yeah.
of our shadow, and they want us to look at them. Please look at
Mm-hmm.
me. Please, be aware of
Yeah.
me and what I'm trying to show you about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very important to feel all the emotions. And
Mm-hmm.
you were talking about something very that I like very much. It's astral projection and that kind of meditation, because all we humans are capable to do that.
Hmm.
But some of us just don't want to go there because that's not the purpose of the life here.
Yeah,
Of some people, that's not the purpose. They are here to do another kind of evolutions.
yeah.
But what you said, it's very important because you can feel the emotion and not be in some place or with some
Hmm.
person. And that's
Yeah.
very interesting to work when you, for example, you are working with forgiveness
Hmm.
because it's very hard when you want to forgive yourself about some event with, for
Sure.
example, with someone who has already died. So you can actually forgive yourself and forgive the person and do this kind of work, exceeding a timeline
Hmm.
where there is no time and no space, and you can heal that
Yeah.
that relationship. It's very important. So when we get out of time and space and we understand that it's through feelings and through emotions that we do this kind of healing,
Hmm.
it's about what we feel today and not what happened in the past, but how we feel today about that event is that is there, that is the healing.
Hmm.
So what you said
Yeah.
is very important about the emotions.
Yeah, totally. Because I really believe like we are vibrating in a frequency, and I think that the quality of our frequency depends from the emotions that we.
Of course, definitely.
As a matter of fact, like if you feel sad, if you feel like overwhelmed, or you feel frustrated, like it's okay sometimes to feel that, and it's okay to acknowledge that. But the
Mm-hmm.
long term, when you feel those feelings in the long term, like you can start to see that the world and your reality is starting to unfold based on that emotion. So
Of
you have
course.
more anxiety, more frustration because you can see the world in a different way.
Of
And
course,
also it
definitely.
has a huge impact in the body because the body cannot stay for such a long time like in fight flight mode. And then you start to manifest disease, you start to manifest
Of
depression,
course.
all of these kind of things.
Because you are
So
vibrating in a dense energy. It's like the
yeah,
rivers. If you have I don't know how to say in English, but agua parada, when the river stops to the flow and the water
hmm,
stays still, what
yeah,
happens to the river is that bad toxins and diseases are getting to the surface, and it's not a good water. It's
hmm,
a hill water, and the same happens to our energy. It's exactly the same. When you
hmm,
don't flow in a high vibe, we are not always in a high vibe, but when we are not aware of the density that we are taking in our bodies and that we are relating with another dense energies, because there is no separation,
hmm,
we are going to be healed
yeah,
one way or the other. And
hmm,
that's why it's so important to do that job of awareness and what I'm feeling and why, and why I'm feeling this density inside of me, this sadness or anger or whatever, and do
yeah.
that always, that cleansing. It's very important what you
Mhm.
said.
No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah, that's so important. By the way, I would love to ask you, do you have by any chance any kind of experience with psychedelics?
Yes, just one experience with one psychedelic, with
Mm-hmm.
ayahuasca.
Okay.
So I've done
Amazing.
ayahuasca. It's a life changing moment for me. It was really life changing.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
I say that is a before and a after,
Mm-hmm.
because I understood things that I didn't thought that I was allowed to understand that kind of things. When I did my first ceremony, In the morning after, I thought, who am I to reach this
Wow.
kind of information, you know, and this
Mm-hmm.
kind of understanding? Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
I'm no one to know these kind of things and be here in this dimension. I thought
Yeah.
that when I would know that kind of things, I would go to the other dimensions because I would be there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I reached that kind of information, I said, okay, so now I understand that death does not exist in the perspective that I thought that it
Mm-hmm.
existed, that we really are spirits
Mm-hmm.
in this dimension, experiencing the world, experiencing the feelings, evolving through feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very, very life changing because the first thing, there were many things that stayed with me after the
Yeah.
first ceremony,
Mm-hmm.
but I can tell you two things that were very strong for me. The first
Yeah.
one was, as I said, I understood what was dying. I
Mm-hmm.
felt what was dying. How does it feel to die?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the other one was that I'm really not Carlota, and that was very hard for me. Like, oh, but how is that possible? I'm not her. I don't have those two kids really in here. That's the her role, her life in that planet, in that dimension, and I'm in another perspective here. So that
Mm-hmm.
was very awe for me.
Yeah.
Like my childrens are like an anchor, and when I was in that no time and no space, and in that kind of awareness and consciousness of the whole,
Mm-hmm.
um, it was very life changing when I
Wow.
understood I was not the persona. I
Yes.
was all another thing, a
Yeah.
spirit, a consciousness. And when you
Mm-hmm.
know that, because in ayahuasca, you know, it's like an understanding, it's a
Mm-hmm.
entendimiento. When you
Sí.
know that, it's completely life changing.
Yeah.
For me, it was.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the gift to experience like ego death, ego
An
dissolution.
ego death. Absolutely.
And that is like one of the best experience you can have, and it really makes you understand that you are not who you think you are, and that you've been like building all your life like this persona that is based on your favorite character of your favorite movie or your
Of
favorite
course.
fiction or your favorite whatever. That's the truth. It's crazy. And then you see like, that's who I am. That's who I'm pretending to be, you know. And that's completely crazy because then you start laughing because
Completely crazy.
that's not me. That's not exactly who I am. I am like, pure consciousness and pure love. I'm not that, So, and yeah, I
And
had the lucky
understanding
experience.
something, that unconditional love, it's
Uh-huh.
not that unicorns and popcorns that some people think it is. The unconditional love is all that is. It's the connection. It's the
Yeah.
space between me and this bed, and the space between me and, because there is no separation. The separation is an illusion. Time and
Mm-hmm.
space are a structure to experience the third dimension. So
Yeah.
when we understand that we are really all connected, because
Mm-hmm.
it is like that, it's understanding. It's not something that you read in the book, and it's
Yeah.
not pink unicorns, you know. Um, you really start to live your life with a completely different awareness. You look
Mm-hmm.
at the people who enter in an elevator with you with another perspective, because there's no such thing like coincidence. So if these people enter the
Mm-hmm.
elevator with you, it's because in some point of your energy you are connected.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
I think if the human beings were all aware of this kind of connection, we would look at each other with a completely different love. Because for me, love is, I see you, you know, I know you are there, and I know we are connected in some point. Because if we were not, we are not here having this conversation, we are not in the same elevator, in the same street, and so on. Because we really are one. But we were so convinced that we were broken inside that we started to experience reality with a completely distorted perspective. But I think it's part of the experience to remember, you know, to remember what we are doing here and what this is all about. And start to talk about spirituality with normality, because if we were all aware of this connection of who we really are, the word spirit would not do whoa at some people, you know, would be completely normal, because it is. It's normal. It's like water or whatever, a cloud. It's something simple and normal, you know. Is that making sense to you? No.
No, makes sense at all, completely. And I really feel that the same. And to be honest, there is like a beautiful metaphor that I saw. Like if you're like a religious person, you are like in a bubble, like the fish, like
In aquarium.
the fish in the aquarium, exactly. But if you are spiritual, you're like a fish in the ocean.
Yeah.
You can really go everywhere, like, because spirituality doesn't end, like it's the infinite. Actually, spirituality, what is for me, is just one word: the infinite. Like, is all about infinite. So, what if there is infinite love that we can give? What if there is infinite time for us? What if there is infinite connection, infinite, you know, like this for me is spirituality. And this is how I practice this every day. Like, remember to myself that I am abundant, that I am infinite, and there is no way that we need to feel luck. Like, there is no luck. Like, there is infinite for everyone. Believe me, and that's what we need to understand. So if we decide to don't believe that, which is still an option, well, you will feel limited, because, you know, this is just what it is. Just that amount of people, that amount of connection, that amount of love, and that's it. And maybe I'm not even enough to have that, because the people are better than me. You know, you think, because we have these beliefs sometimes, you know.
Yes.
So you still think that the world that you live in is limited, and on top of that, you don't think you're enough. So you feel like you are completely like, on the floor, you know.
Yes, but it's that's the tricky thing, because we are what we believe in. We all are in what we believe we are. And we sometimes it's very hard to acknowledge to yourself, to ourselves, but do I really think that I'm this, and this? Yes, you do. That's because you are creating your reality like that. And the work to change your reality, it starts with acknowledge what do you believe that you are, that you really are in your essence. And that's not that's a shadow work, as you know, and that's not easy to confront your shadow and what do you believe you are. Because one thing is what you think and what you say, and the other thing is what you feel. And it's through your heart that you create your reality, because the vibration is from the heart. It's not from the brain. So you feel with consistency is what you create. And what do you really believe that you are? That's the trick. Because no one wants to admit that, no, sometimes I'm so insecure, or I'm so jealous, or I'm so bad, or because we are. That's why we are humans, because we have shadow and we have light.
Yeah.
When we have only light, we disintegrate and we go to other dimensions
Mhm.
because we have to have both to be
Yeah.
humans and to do this evolution.
Mhm.
I believe in this. I really do.
Totally.
The, yeah, that's it. I think we have to be aware that that's not easy to be aware of what you truly feel, truly, because sometimes we really believe that we are doing a great work, a great
Mhm.
spiritual work, or your self-knowledge, but there's always a corner where one or two shadows are hiding. Normally, the most profound wounds that we have inside of us are very
Yeah.
hid inside of our soul, and
Mhm.
it's difficult to go there and to unveil all the onion, peeling the onion. It's very hard because it hurts. and
Yeah.
and I think it's about life that we are doing here. It's evolution. It's to
Mhm.
remember this path that we agreed to come here and to do it because we agreed, but we just forget.
Mhm.
And we do. When you do psychedelics, in my case ayahuasca, you remember, and it's like an aha moment. In my
Mhm.
last ceremony, I uh, had an urge, a really strong urge to go to the shaman, who is someone that I really, really have a great affection and a great honor to do this
Yeah.
work with him. I'm very honored to know someone like him, and I had an urge to go and how do you say, abanar, to talk with him and say, how do we forget? But how do we
Yeah.
forget completely?
Yeah.
Like a
Mhm.
haha moment, It's all
Yeah.
here. It's all with us all the time. Why do we
Yeah.
forget? And we are always searching outside of us, always in the books, in the temples, in the other people. And it's all
Mhm.
here
Yeah.
like a diamond, like and it's very funny because we understand what life is about in the psychedelics.
Yeah.
It's something that the nature gives to you. So
Mhm.
like a little help. And I
Mhm.
think like religions and all the tools that you have in personal development, tarot, um, medicine plants, astrology, you name it, because it's all the same thing in
Yeah.
different perspectives to look
Correct.
at the same one in
Yeah.
different perspectives.
Yes.
So I think the universe starts to give you, so try this book if you remember. And you go to
Mhm.
the book, so try this tarot, for
Yeah.
instance, and
Yeah.
for you to remember, it's all for you to remember. And
Mhm.
when we start to remember the connection, we start to really understand that we are here to each other,
Mhm.
to help remember who we
Mhm.
are. And in that moment, when we do that ceremonies, it's like, yes, I remember now. So that's when you taste the unconditional love. It,
Yeah.
it's just to remember where we are from and what we are
Mhm.
doing here,
Mhm.
helping each other to remember.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Mhm. I love what you're saying, and what you're saying is like basically living a life with as less ego as possible, and trying to really connect. Like to be honest with you, like I started all of this journey like with the self help and with the self development. So, I started to read like lots of books. I don't know if you're familiar with Tony Robbins and with guys like this, And at the moment, those guys were like God for me. Like, oh wow, this guy really got it. But then when I did my psychedelic experience, I started to see in this guy so much ego. And I said, who the fuck have been following on my like now I was like I cannot hear him anymore. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I'm vomiting. Like I don't know. I feel too much ego, and it maybe momentarily it's good, and you feel great. But then, like for the long term, like you will lose this connection because you still feel you are the great one. You feel like you are the number one. That everything is thanks to you. When actually there is the opposite. Like when you surrender and you really decided to let go, the universe will unfold things for you. And then you see who is the powerful one. The powerful one is when you become one with the universe, one with the connection. You completely surrender to the fact that you don't have to achieve all of these things, in order to
Of course.
get. And to be honest with you, like now I am in the best position in my life that I have been. And just to be honest with you, I've been doing the least work. Believe me. And I used to do lots of work and it's been like, and this is so powerful. This is like really the tool that we need to understand. We need to surrender and to let go and really listen to our inner voice and things will unfold. So like automatically and effortlessly. We don't even have to worry about, what things will come up.
Of course. Your intuition.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Learn how to perceive and to listen the intuition and
Yeah,
to engage with that. Because
yeah.
I think the ego, the persona, it's very important. Because
Yeah,
without it, we weren't able to experience this reality. Because
yeah.
without the ego, you can't
Correct.
feel anything. Because in my perspective, when you are completely zen, and that's a choice too, that's a choice I respect. When you are
Yeah.
completely zen, you don't feel. And it's important to feel to evolve, to feel the
Yeah.
good, to feel the bad, and to feel, just to feel and be aware of the emotions. Why do I love so much the meditation? It's a huge part of my life because meditation um, teaches how to observe the ego and don't
Yeah.
identify with it. At least in that moment when we meditate, because it's normal to identify with the ego in the day because I have a name, I have a job, I have kids, and I'm the Carlotta mom, I'm the Carlotta worker, I'm the Carlotta healer. So that's a part of my ego.
Oh
And
yeah.
very important because we have to do this personage, these actors to make this experience.
Oh yeah.
But I think the point is when you start to observe what your ego feels, what your ego thinks, because the mind is always with hand in hand with the ego. And when you
Yeah.
start to observe what the mind says and what the mind says, what it makes you feel, and you don't want to feel that anymore. So now you start to get your power back because you
Yeah.
start to observe what you are feeling and what you are creating with the kind
Yeah.
of feelings that you built your personality. And now when you start to be aware, now you have your power back on yourself, on your heart. And now you are
Yeah.
turning the master of your life. And now you say, that's
Mm-hmm.
easy. No, that's very difficult. You have
It
to be
is.
very consistent and you have to want it really hard. Sometimes people ask me, but why did you choose this path? And I since I was a little girl, I had some episodes of the dispersonalization. So
Yeah.
I have the medium. I was medium since I was very young,
Yeah.
but I never gave the attention of that part of me until the universe, because I had a life. I married a lot. I had many relationships, always searching for that aha
Mm-hmm.
moment that I told you that was
Yeah.
always inside of me. And I
Yeah.
searched a lot in relations and in trips and in this and that. And one day I had an episode because I broke my heart really, really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in that moment, I really heard, are you going to stop it, to do that to yourself? Or are
Mm-hmm.
you going to be healed, to get
Yeah.
healed, to get a disease in your body?
Mm-hmm.
And then I had identity crisis, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I just read on books, I felt in myself.
Mm-hmm.
Ego crisis, you know? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sure, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
And then I
Like
read,
you feel like you've been living like a lie. You feel like
mhm,
you've been living like
yes, of course,
a life that is not the one that you chose, right?
of course, in a
And that
big lie, like, what
mhm.
am I doing with my life all this time?
Yeah,
I really scared myself, you know, like, this is
sure.
gonna stop and this is gonna stop now. And
Mm-hmm.
I started my process. It was a very hard caminho rojo, you know, a very hard shadow work because I had to learn to stop victimization, to stop all the strong archetypes that I had, and
Yeah,
to get back to myself, to learn
sure.
again how to love myself and to live in my truth.
Mm-hmm.
Not to engage in, not to continue to engage in the persona and the staging lives and blah blah blah. And when people ask me, how do you got to that path? How do you wanted to do that kind of? I say first, it's my purpose of life since I was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I was just running away of it because I was running away of me, of myself.
Yeah.
And the second, because I really, really want it. Because what I'm talking to you, what I'm telling you is just the first step. When I said, okay, stop, I want to get back to me. I want to get back home.
Yeah.
And that's it's the thing that I call life. It's the way back home. All life is the way back home. When you get home, you go away and you go to another evolution,
Yeah.
other dimensions.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I decided to go back home
Yeah.
and to my truth and to my self-love and who
Mm-hmm.
I really was,
Yeah.
not a persona. And it is every day a hard work because you
Sure.
have to really want it. I did so many meditations crying because I didn't want to do the meditation because my body was aching. But I really knew that I had to be consistent because
Sure.
it's all about consistency if you
Totally.
really want to do something. And
Yes.
when I really felt that it was working, and I really felt in my heart, whoa, this really works. So magic does exist. And then, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I did ayahuasca, I did 12 certificates in energy and aura readings and different kinds of meditation.
Sure.
And that's when that's where I am now,
Mm-hmm.
studying myself so I
Yeah.
can share that with the other people because I believe that is not something that we call as healers, because I think we all are healers. We
Yeah.
all are shamans because the true shaman is inside of us.
Yeah.
And what we are doing here is a choice to help others to remember who they are, as
Yeah.
I said. So again,
Mm-hmm.
and I choose to do that work because it's all I know. It's all I know since I am a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone has something to share with you. when I do an aura reading, I know that is a share. I'm not helping the other person. I'm sharing something. It's a share, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm learning something too, that I'm something that I need to be there for some reason. So
Yeah.
that's what I believe.
Because to be honest, when you get in the mindset that you are helping, I think the ego kicks in
Completely.
because you feel like you are superior. You still have something to give more, still to
Completely.
have, and then the ego kicks in. But what if actually, as you said, we share or we show the path, we show the reality, and then they're gonna heal themselves. Because who am I to tell you do this meditation, do this workout, things every day? Like I'm sure everyone is so unique and so different. I'm going to feel our inner voice. What I will do to you actually is make me like making you accountable. Like what did you say your inner voice is? Okay, let's do that. It's not what is my inner voice. You have to do that. It's
No,
what is your inner voice and how can you actually implement it. That is how I see that kind of service
definitely.
that we are giving. It's not really about my life and you copy and paste what is happening. It's not like that. It's not that easy.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I think it's always a share in everything.
Yeah,
In everything. But when you do an aura reading or when you do a tarot, or whatever, what
yeah.
therapy you are doing, it's always a share. It's
Mm-hmm.
like we are the ones that choose to light the buttons inside the other person, you know? But the buttons are already there. We just
Yeah.
choose to light it and to look, you have the button. It's just to
Mm-hmm.
switch it on. It's yours. The power is yours. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not giving you anything. It's already yours. I'm just
Yeah.
showing it to you. You
Yeah. 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 And I feel so bad when people don't see that, you know, because there is always like a way that you can see it. And then, like, I feel really bad. Like, when people really say, no, this is how we life is. Like, we are limited and this and that.
because they
I
feel
feel
broke.
really, really like bad for that.
They
So,
identify with the brokenness. You know,
mm-hmm.
they really believe, and again, the beliefs, they really believe that they are broken. And
Yeah.
what I understand about brokenness, it's when you feel disconnected from the source, disconnected from God, universe.
Yeah.
It's only words for the same thing. When you feel disconnected from yourself, from the essence. The essence is the source. When we say, "Oh, God is up there," there, up, 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 up. No, up, up is the same like inside, so deep, deep, deep inside, because as above,
Yeah.
so below, as the universe of the soul, like Hermes Trismegisto said, the
Yes.
principles of Hermes Trismegisto. So when when I see someone broken like that, I remember when I was broken, and
Mm-hmm. Yes.
what can I say that in that moment when I was broken, um, what would I would like that someone say to me that rings me a bell and that wants me
Mm-hmm.
to start the way back home, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the most broken you are. I think that normally they are very brave spirits
Mm-hmm.
that assume to evolve through such a big wound.
Yeah.
So the big wounds carry big pain.
Mm-hmm.
There are some evolutions that are very, very challenging.
Yeah.
Things that we are very blessed to have a conversation about
Yeah.
spirituality, but there are challenges, as you know, very big
Mm-hmm.
challenges. People that lost kids
Mm-hmm.
or lost all the families or live in countries that are in war for years
Yeah.
and years. And I think that they are very strong spirits. And
Mm-hmm.
in a very higher perspective, it's part two of the evolution. It's very difficult to understand this, I think, but it's parts because we are quality.
Yeah.
And to have that kind of shadow, to have the higher light too. So
Yeah.
this is the school planets, like some people call it.
Exactly.
It's not easy, but
Mm-mm.
to have this duality, you know, profound
Yeah.
duality. And when you reach this kind of flights, when you
Mm-hmm.
reach your part, you have the consciousness of the profound shadow, and you have
Yeah.
blessing, you have the hurts too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's duality. We don't feel always bliss. We feel truth.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. That you
Yeah.
all, when you
Yeah.
decide to do this work, you feel all that is true. It's not,
Yeah.
oh, you're so spiritual, so you are always with flowers in your head. And
Yeah,
no,
we wish. We wish. Totally like
nothing
that.
like that. No, I'm
Yeah.
feeling
Mhm.
profound.
Yeah.
The
We see
good.
the truth. Yeah. But I was thinking, like, to be honest, like, if you would take me, like, maybe 4 or 5 years ago to myself, and I would talk to this version of myself, like, I would start to laugh and say, "What are you saying? Like, that's bullshit." To be honest, the big shift that really happened to me was really with psychedelics, because when you have like a mystical experience, it's not really about, because conceptually what we are saying makes sense, and conceptually people want to believe that, but they don't believe it because they don't see it. They don't think it could really exist. But when you are with psychedelics and you are walking, and you can really have this mystical experience and see the light and see the wonder and see the impact, then you start to question when you come back, what is that I am, and what can I choose to believe now? Seems
Totally.
like reality is the perception, and I'm
So,
not just high there. What is happening there is much more. It's much more than just being high. It just seems like feeling like the oneness. So I would say, for people that really want to feel that and they are struggling since years, I would say to really go into the deep experience with psychedelic, which could be with mushrooms, with ayahuasca, with mescaline.
mm,
Really feels like, depends which one calls you, I
mm,
would say.
of
But
course.
I would say this is really like a key experience. If they tried everything, they went to Buddhist monasteries, they've done meditation for like 8 years, they've done everything possible, and they still don't believe it. I think that is like the last card they can use.
Of course. You know, I think when you decide to, I never did drugs in my youth because of that condition that I told you about the depersonalization, and I was
Yeah,
scared of lose control.
sure.
I don't judge at all
Hmm.
because no, I don't judge. I think everyone should do what you should do. But psychedelics, it's they were in bad use with the in some ambient, how do you know, in some ambient, in some places. Because when you take psychedelics in a disco or in not a prepared place,
Yeah.
you are going to align with the energy that you have in that moment. So when
Hmm.
people talk about bad trip, oh, bad trip, so that drug was very strong. Not the drug that was wrong, it was your energy that was,
Yeah.
and you were not prepared to see what you
Hmm.
saw because yours. There were not dragons in the wall. It was inside
Yeah.
you projected on the wall. So,
Hmm.
because I think the unconscious people, which affect the most, sometimes don't understand the work with psychedelics. So do it in most various places, are not prepared to
Yeah.
kind of work, because I think it's very serious work when you
Mm-hmm.
deal with your mind. Um, we have to be very humble and very respectful, because it's a very great tool, but it can turn to yourself.
Sure.
And I think psychedelics in the proper place, and with someone,
Mm-hmm.
with someone knows how to handle it, and knows
Yeah.
how to handle the energy of the energy of the people. I think that are the best tool for you to understand and for you to
Yeah.
knowledge, because you can turn down the doors of perception,
Mm-hmm.
have no filter, and you understand how you see the world, how you
Yeah.
how you are seeing the world at this moment,
Mm-hmm.
through which lens are you experiencing
Yeah.
the world, and you can choose the lens without the
Yeah.
door, and you are allowed to bring information that you need for this time of your life, and you, as you know too, you just bring the information that you are really allowed in this
Yeah.
time. But when
Exactly.
you have the doors of perception down,
Mm-hmm.
you think you can exceed and bring it with you, and it's not possible, because
Sure.
dance in this dimension, so we can experience things slowly. It's part of the Dumbify of human. We have to
Yeah.
experience time and space, and with this cadency, to
Yeah.
because we just feel, because we have this density, because when we're
Mm-hmm.
high, we are in high dimensions and everything is there.
Yeah.
Difficult, so you just have this information or that information for this part of your life. And when you are not aware of this work, I believe that do psychedelics in a recreational spirit, okay, I scared to go
Mm-hmm.
and to stay in other dimensions. Uh,
Yeah.
but I think that it's not useful. Okay, you have a time, but it's useful because you don't understand what is happening and how to,
Yeah.
because it's really magical. When you
Mm-hmm.
understand energy, you understand
Yeah.
magic is
Mhm.
energy
Yeah.
manipulated with a certain intention.
Yeah.
Understand how to work with your energy, and you can do
Mm-hmm.
things. But when you don't understand, okay, you may have a great time, but you're not working on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
it's so no.
Yeah, yeah, makes perfect sense. And really, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and all this knowledge. And so I would say just one person here is Julio is asking us the difference between DMT, ayahuasca, and LSD. So basically, DMT and ayahuasca is the same thing.
Yeah.
So basically, the DMT is what we find in ayahuasca. And LSD is completely another thing. It's something that Hoffman is not like doesn't come from nature. It comes like from the laboratory, but it has deep healing purposes and deep power. As a matter of fact, LSD has been created like during the time it was created, like the atomic bomb, and
Mm.
was created on purpose to create peace and love instead of creating like terror. So this is one of the creation of LSD. So I would just want to quickly wrap up and really say thank you for really joining me today in this amazing
Thank
uh, connection. I would say if you want, we can do one more, maybe in the next weeks. We can
when
do a part two. I think that would be really useful for the people like listening, and also for us. That I learned a lot from you, to be honest. And you like made came up things for me that I was really surprised. So you have such a beautiful feminine energy. Like your feminine energy is amazing.
Thank you so
Very welcome.
much to be here with you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So let's keep in touch, and wish you an amazing evening. And yeah, let's connect. Have a
Yes.
beautiful day.
You too.
Take care. Ciao.
Bye-bye.